Okay, you are now live.
All right.
Good morning,
everyone.
Facebook Live.
Oh, good morning.
See if you want to pull it up on your device and share it, you can. That way people will know from your platform to watch.
That's why Alfonso's here. He's
That's why you keep him around? It's not just to look pretty?
Absolutely. Well, here, we got to put our little... That's our unofficial logo for the sheriff's office.
I like that, though.
What
That's
is it?
Awesome. It's the mustache.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh, there we are. It popped up. We are really matchy today.
I know. And we didn't even plan it.
I was wondering that when I walked in the door.
No.
No,
There's
I'm
days.
Like,
It's weird.
these two...
No, we don't. There's days all four of us
Coordinated.
women.
Yeah, there's days where we all four match. It's one of those freak accident
Well, it's kind of like
things.
the sheriff's office. We all match most of the time every day.
We all wear that same color tan.
Hey, you know?
Hi, Savannah.
All
And
right.
Jess. And Skylar.
Are we ready?
Yep. Welcome to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer Blackwell.
And I'm Teresa Straub.
We are here live on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com if you like to stream the show, or you can also watch us on the FTS Automotive Facebook live feed, either on my personal page, which is open to the public, or on the station page.
Yes, and if you do not follow us on Facebook Live, we encourage you to do so. It's a way to get a behind the scenes of what goes on with Z93, Outlaw Country, and MonsterMediaYuma.com. I'll go to commercial break. Jennifer and I stay live the entire hour. If you are following us on Facebook Live, hit that share button. We always have lots of important information to get out to the community, and I'm sure you have a friend or two that might benefit from that.
And please don't share what Skylar just posted. He says
Please.
it's National Send a Nudie Day if you're into that.
Please, we are not encouraging
So,
you to send
please,
us any nudies.
In the spirit of transparency, we don't want to know or see
No.
everything.
Definitely
Especially
not.
today.
Definitely not. Good morning, Little.
All right, we have two guests in the studio. We're just kicking things off right out of the chute. Sheriff Leon Wilmot and Alfonso Zavala with the Yuma County Sheriff's Office. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just because sheriff's here doesn't mean you have to be quiet.
No,
Yeah, we don't want to share any of
Oh,
that
you're
stuff.
you're sharing the Facebook
Yeah.
live feed. I see.
Yeah,
Getting
he's-
us squared away on
Multitasking.
Yes, he is. I've already seen a couple that he's tagged there. All right, well, we are embarking on the official start of summer. It's one of the busiest weekends in Yuma County. Memorial Weekend.
It's our very first holiday weekend, and typically that opens up our boating season in Yuma County. You know, Memorial Weekend is often time of barbecues, vacation, boating, water sports. What I try to remind everybody too is that it's a time to recognize our military who have signed that blank check to lay down their lives for our country. So to those past and present veterans out there, I want to remind everybody to thank them for their service, because that's why we have Memorial Weekend.
Absolutely. And there are a variety of events taking place on Monday.
Absolutely.
And we have shared those. There's the 7:45 in the morning at the Quatron Burial Grounds. Then we have Desert Lawn. It just
Right.
Sunset.
Ocean to Ocean Bridge,
Right.
where they drop the wreath into the river.
Yeah,
which is-
events all day long.
All day.
And there will be a collaborative and collective moment of silence at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the National Moment of Remembrance.
Right.
Wherever you're at, just stop for a moment right then and recognize, remember, and pay tribute to those, again, like you said, you know, who paid that ultimate price.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we will have a lot of extra traffic, and we've already started to see it here on the roadways.
Yes, we have.
Now, we're going to be talking about some boating safety and DUI things to keep in mind, because celebrations come along with everything.
They do, and I will tell you that you know, as soon as the weather starts warming up, we see a transition from everybody going to the sand dunes to everybody going and enjoying the Colorado River, and being whether it's the upper river or the lower river. And unfortunately, we've already had one fatality boating accident out on the upper river in Ferguson Lake. So that's why we want to remind everybody that there's a number of things that you need to make sure that you're aware of when you launch that vessel and you have people on board. cover all those safety aspects, all that required equipment that you need to have, and be aware of the rules of the road, basically, when you're out there on the river.
Well, Alfonso just shared a press release not too long ago, and it was about some of the most common boating violations. Do you have those off the top of your head?
We do. You know, the number one is not enough life jackets or flotation devices on the vessel, on board on the vessel. They don't have to be worn all the time unless they're 12 years of age or younger. You do have to have them on if they're 12 years or younger. But that's the number one citation in Arizona right now. Fire extinguishers, lack of not carrying a fire extinguisher.
Or the
on
proper
board.
kind.
Absolutely.
Riding up on the bow, you know, when you're going down. Operating under the influence, huge thing. You know, the same laws apply as if you were on the roadway. Zero tolerance on that, and we work with our local, state, and federal partners while we're out there enforcing these laws.
Now, there's going to be some additional enforcement out, just in general, over the course of Memorial Weekend.
Absolutely.
And I understand from another release that Alfonso sent out that you're targeting some of the more common areas where we've had issues with accidents.
Correct. Yeah, we'll be targeting those areas that we experience problems in the past. We're partnering with our the local DPS, City of Yuma, and the other law enforcement agencies as far as on the roadways. And then obviously out on the river, you will have multiple law enforcement agencies as well, because in Yuma County, you're dealing with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife because you have the Imperial Refuge, you have California, because that's Colorado River is the dividing line basically for everybody. You'll have BLM out there as well as Arizona Game and Fish, and then our law enforcement out on the boats. So.
Well, the fatality that you mentioned at Ferguson Lake a few minutes ago, that was one of the situations people started asking me about it, but Imperial County Sheriff's Office,
Right.
they were working primarily on that, so they were the ones issuing information.
Absolutely. It typically what will happen is the closest agency will respond to something like that right away and then start taking care of whatever needs to be taken care of. Imperial County takes a little bit of time to get their vessel out there, so we'll stand by. And then, like you've seen with this, I mean, we even had U.S. Border Patrol out there because we in Yuma County, we all partner together with our local agencies
Right.
and make things happen. So we fortunately have that resource here. So
We were speaking with Sergeant Lori Franklin earlier this week from the Yuma Police Department about the fire that occurred on Sunday on the river.
Right.
And, you know, the police department, she says, we don't have water vessels. The fire department does, and some of the other agencies do. So that also comes into play with your first responders who actually have the resources to do so.
yeah, the rule is with in Arizona is basically if the Coast Guard pulls out, any law enforcement activity has to be taken care of by the sheriff. So by statute, we're the ones that have to patrol the rivers. So it's kind of a combination thing. We're in charge of the waterways as far as that enforcement goes. City can partner up with that. So, and we have boats that are equipped for the lower river, which takes a whole different dynamic because it's so shallow. But so we work along with Border Patrol, who also have that style of vessels. So we'll call on that resource and get that there to help out. I know there were some citizens that jumped in and helped get people off the river. Our agency was down there along with the city, just trying to make sure that no more tubers were getting in the river to get down there. So
Right.
pretty scary when you're on the river. You're
Oh.
kind of trapped right in the middle of that. down there.
Absolutely. Well, we saw
Yeah.
some video and some photos too.
Yeah.
I mean, just cannot even imagine. Now, give us the difference between the upper river and the lower river. What areas do those actually encompass?
Well, basically what we consider the upper and lower is anything above Imperial Dam spillway is the upper Colorado River. And that's where you got more of the river that's significantly deeper and wider. And then it narrows down south of that coming into Yuma proper, and then over into California and Mexico where it's diverted into Mexico to Morales Dam.
Okay. And there are, again, a lot of people from California like to come and enjoy the lakes and the rivers here because it's a different dynamic than the ocean.
It is. It really is. They come down here, they'll launch down here, and then they've got the opportunity to water ski or just go upriver and float all the way down from Picacho. So you'll get all different kinds of dynamics as far as what people want to do down here. So it's interesting. You get a lot of jet skis out there, when we have crowded weekends, it seems like everybody pays more attention to the other boats out there. When we don't get a real crowded weekend is typically when people cut a little bit too loose on operating their vessels, and that's where we end up with the accident. So we're asking everybody to know the rules of the road out there. It's basically like driving a car.
Right.
You know, so they keep those in mind. And, you know, there are age limits in regards to operating vessels unless it's emergency. So stop by your local law enforcement, pick up those pamphlets, and educate yourself. Because of our situation along the Colorado River, it's concurrent jurisdiction. So what we try to do is work with our counterparts from Imperial County and ensure that we're all enforcing basically the same laws, so it's not confusing to some. So, like Ferguson Lake, I mean, for you to get in there, you're going to come in from Arizona typically or cut across. So we want to make sure that we're not ruining somebody's weekend by enforcing something that's not something that typically is done in California and vice versa. But
Good point.
it's more of an education thing for our officers out there. When we're making contact to inspect their vessels, because just like a car, you have to have your registration on board, you have to have your PFDs, you have to have your fire extinguisher. That's got to be working order. So, and that's our main goal.
And I think you guys do a great job of it too, because you know we go out to the river often, and I see your guys' presence, and I think your guys' presence is a big deal because people tend to mind their P's and Q's when they see a police officer. But you also do a good job too of mingling with the people and talking to them. I love, you know, the kids love it too. When one year we were at the dock, the kids were a little bit little and they all have their vests on. My favorite thing it wasn't at the time, but now it is. But they gave them these little whistles that you clip to their life vest. Now the whole trip down the river they were blowing on them, but at least they know how to use them. But that could potentially save their life if they happen to float away, or God forbid something happened where you might get in an accident and they get thrown. You're able to find these things. So those little things. But I think you guys do a really good job of making your presence known and still talking to the people. And the kids love to see you guys out there too. So.
And
no, we appreciate it.
We can't stress the importance enough of making sure you have responsible, constant adult supervision. A lot of times people are distracted by a lot of our contemporary technology conveniences. And you can't have someone who's Facebooking or updating their Instagram who's also supposed to be responsible for watching the kids by the water, even your backyard swimming pool. And you need to make sure you have someone there that is designed, you know, to focus simply on that, because especially if you're at the river, it's a living body of water, and the conditions change constantly.
And you don't know what's under that water. The fluctuation of the river levels changes the dynamic. I mean, it only takes a few inches of water for a person to drown in, to be
that's
quite
right.
honest with you, and we've seen that in the past. And you will get undertows, and you will get sections where I've dove in this river looking for individuals that unfortunately have drowned. And you can go from a couple of feet down to 40 foot within a couple of feet.
Went that far? Oh my
And
goodness.
So it doesn't take a whole lot.
Well, I know that I've talked with people that said I was there Thursday and then I was there Saturday, and I could stand on Thursday, but the sandbar shipped, and there's just, like you said, the underbrush and a varying amount of factors that come into play, and you can't always just make that assumption that it's going to be the same even the very next day. You need to be safe.
Well, and I will tell you, it's a good point that you brought up about the young kids being just on the dock, but they were wearing their PFDs because, you know, you can fall in. And even along this lower Colorado River, you wouldn't think much about it, but there are some undertows there, and that current does get swift in certain locations, and that could sweep a little toddler or a kid away.
Easily. And it always scares me. You know, most of the time when we're down there, Eli has his life vest on, or even if we're not, I'm right there, and he's holding on to me because that current is so swift, and that, you know, even if they lose their footing, they're going to get swept. You know, so I see a lot of kids out there that are just, I'm a nervous Nelly because I'm like, they're getting kind of far away, you know, type of thing.
But it's still good that there's at least another set of eyes on them, too.
Yes,
because again, we can't always count on people being responsible. I see a lot of individuals down here, even by the Ocean to Ocean Bridge, and they figure because it's more shallow in some spots that it's perfectly safe for them just roam about with floaties on. Well, floaties are not designed to actually be a life-saving measure.
No.
Well, and the way the weather looks, it promises to be a really nice weekend.
Yes, it
so,
does.
And you will get a lot of people, especially at the confluence on the lower river where the Gila River meets the Colorado. That's a pretty popular place. And we'll remind people, too, that, keep your eyes out for other folks' kids, because when you get large crowds and people down there, just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And please, whatever you bring in, pack it out.
Yes.
Please.
We said, take in trash bags, attach them to your tubes, just float it down with you.
Yeah,
Let's
take it with you. There's
keep it looking
dumpsters
nice.
down here when you get off the river, and bring it in off your boat and throw it in the dumpsters. But please don't leave all the trash out there.
Mike Erfurt from the Yuma Fire Department says, well said, Sheriff. Good job. And then Janelle is watching from Iowa. She's one of our radio friends. And
Iowa.
she says, good morning from Iowa. We're having a beautiful spring day here, looking for highs in the upper 80s. I love the mustache sheriff and his cool water bottle.
Hey, this is my coffee cup right here. You need that every morning.
Is it true everyone has to have a mustache to work there?
Well, it seems
I'm
like
kidding.
it's a
My
it's
husband
a trend
doesn't.
for Yuma sheriffs anyway.
It is, going back many a decade.
Many a decade. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, extra DUI patrols out there with the options we have these days for the rideshare services: Uber, Lyft, taxis,
Oh, yeah.
designated sober drivers.
Yes.
There's absolutely no reason for
There's no
anyone to
excuse.
get behind the wheel.
There's
No.
no excuse.
Or the
Not at
boat.
all.
Well, there's a wheel on a boat too. Is this still a steering wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Yes.
Wait, it's been a while.
Technology hasn't come that far yet, Jennifer.
Self-driving.
Yeah, there's no self-driving vessels out there on the river.
They had them on Miami Vice, didn't they? Or was it a
yeah.
stick and a brick?
Skylar says the real question is, how does he grow a luscious mustache?
What's the trick there?
I've never heard it referred to like that. I guess it would be a gift.
All right.
So-
Well, I love how active the Yuma County Sheriff's Office is on social media, as well as you keep the community updated on a variety of things.
Absolutely.
We saw a situation yesterday. There was an abandoned vessel. Was it a hull of a boat that was left out in the foothills area?
Yeah, they had cut it apart and dumped it out in the desert. And we're asking for the public's help on trying to find out who dumped that out there. I mean, it's something that our search and rescue guys actually go out and do illegal dumping patrols to try to deter that type of activity out here in Yuma County, but we can't be everywhere all the time. So we ask, if you're out there and you see somebody doing that, call us right away so we can go out there and address that issue. And we've been pretty fortunate in the past to actually catch individuals and prosecute them, and then make them clean it up. But it just ruins our environment when you're doing that.
It does. It really dirties things up. I've seen
Yeah.
a variety of locations of trash throughout the desert. Let's do our part. Even if you're out there just hanging out with friends, whether you're riding ATVs, if it's an authorized area to do so, and you see some trash, take some of it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's all work
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
And one other thing you did mention a short while ago, Sheriff, was you cover various. Basically, the Yuma County Sheriff's Office covers all of Yuma County.
Correct.
Some people inadvertently think that you only cover the outer lying areas, but you have jurisdiction for all of the city of Yuma also.
All of Yuma County. So, and there are some things that we are tasked by statute to do. So, unfortunately, one of those is tax collection. So, or serving civil papers and stuff like that. So that's why people will see the sheriff's office in different city limits throughout Yuma County. So, we do perform those services, and I will tell you that much like any law enforcement agency in the state, we don't have all the resources. So if the city of Yuma needs our help, we're right there for them, and vice versa. Same with Arizona Department of Public Safety. They're great partners for us, especially in our remote parts of the county. So
Those partnerships are very valuable.
they are here. They really are.
The Bailey family said it's time to have biscuits and gravy.
Absolutely. Hey, those are the best. Just got to drive out east to go get them.
Well, Foodylicious Janice has some treats for us today, one day
know.
early, but the city show was in here earlier.
Alfonso's
so-
excited.
So
Yeah.
the city show was here early and they ate it all?
No,
No,
okay.
no,
She couldn't bring it over.
Oh, okay.
Well, she didn't want to, encroach on their space.
And I will add out there too on our partnerships. Arizona Game and Fish puts on great boating educational classes. So if people are interested, you're looking at getting whether it be a boat or a jet ski, wave runner, whatever the case may be. Get a hold of Arizona Game and Fish. We partner with them. They put on a boating education courses so people can get that knowledge and that experience, and then stop by there, pick up the pamphlets, and like those whistles. I mean, typically we get those little things to annoy parents with and give them to the kids, but it's a great program.
Yeah,
it really
it
is, and it exposes them to safety.
Exactly.
All right. Well, next up we have Dave McDowell coming in. He's going to be talking about some classes that he's providing for active shooter situations. And I know you've had the opportunity to work with Dave for a number of years too. So we just thought that was very timely. Now, Alfonso, you wanted to bring up something else.
Brings up something, one thing that we've had before, and remind the folks. We've got, especially over the ocean bridge with the bridge there. It's unsafe, illegal. Don't be jumping off the bridge. Don't be hanging a rope off the bridge and swinging off of it, because you don't know what's going to happen.
And those ropes will be cut down, and people keep putting them back up.
Yes.
And we've had countless injuries taking place. But again,
to put them back up, they're not only are they trespassing, but
aren't they trespassing on Union Pacific property?
Part of that is Union Pacific. Part of that is the ocean bridge that you drive across is agreement between the city and the tribal nation too. So you got to be aware of that. And to go on that as well, swimming in canals is not smart.
No.
We get a lot.
that's trespassing too.
That is trespassing, and we've actually had folks jumping off of the interstate bridge into those canals.
Oh my goodness.
It's very dangerous, and those undertows will take in. Unfortunately, we've had people pinned under those gates, so no swimming or jet skiing being pulled by a vehicle on the canals. Please don't do that.
No, none of it is safe. All right, we want to thank Alfonso and Yuma County Sheriff Leon Wilmot for stopping by today in Yuma. It's time to take our Lotus Day Spa and Salon selfie with the two mustached men here. Of course, someone said Little said walking up to people, I must ask you a question.
You get that a lot? You get that a lot?
No, I don't get that one a lot. That's
I see some new marketing here. All right, it's Today in Yuma. We'll be back with Dave McDowell. He's going to be talking about education for active shooter situations. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. They have 30 years of experience and knowledge, and you can trust them with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. Call 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports, check out the Sprague's difference. Buy, sell, trade, or consign firearms with free expert appraisals. Sprague's offers local price matching and a lifetime warranty. You can find them on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And if your air system has to work harder due to a clogged filter, it may lead to premature wearing down of different components. So don't forget to swap out those air filters regularly. Tomorrow is Free Filter Friday, and if you stop by 190 West 10th Street, taking your old air filter, Quick Refrigeration will give you a brand new standard 1-inch air filter for free.
And our friends over at Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists, right now, you need to go to their Facebook page. Not only will you get all of the details on the $89 3-month exterior service for June, July, and August, but there's also an awesome summer giveaway going on. Just make sure you follow the directions to the T. You can find them under Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists.
It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed.
sweet.
All right.
I think Janice started bringing her food over. She heard you guys talking about it.
Oh, ciao.
They have to take a selfie first.
Wait, I bet Dave's already eating it all in there. Dave, step away from the goodies.
The door for me.
It's a good thing you wrapped all that.
I know. Look, I'll unwrap for you.
You know, three of
This picture for your presentation. You are two classy people. You want to have your picture taken with these two
We are
guys?
willing to make that sacrifice and take that chance.
Can you Photoshop them out of it? Just go ahead and make them feel good, but Photoshop those guys. I'm serious.
Oh, we gotta do our picture.
Hey, we got
You have to take a selfie.
Wait a minute, we gotta do our.
Trapping him with the food.
He's trash talking, you
I'm
guys.
just saying, man. You guys are driving
full?
us down. They've got
Did
such
you eat
a.
all that?
Come on over here.
All right, here we go. Everybody got to get in.
Hey, oh, wait a minute. Gotta get the.
Smile.
Wait, I gotta flatten my face.
Oh,
Okay, here we go. Ready? Smile. All right, there we go.
okay, I'm just gonna make a slide.
Both of those. The mistake and
yeah. The one where I gotta fly.
Okay, so one comment. The only prima donna we've had here has been Alfonso.
You know.
Wow!
Wow.
You didn't even have
you
to
under the
say
bus
that. We already knew it.
I'm just kidding, Alfonso. I'm just kidding.
Wow. That just hurt my feelings.
I'm sincerely sorry from the depths of my heart.
And you're laughing. All right. You going in for a snack?
Go get a snack. I said, go get a snack.
Pick my winner.
Oh, good, yeah. Oh, it's not too late. Hurry, hurry, go enter right now. Go, enter.
We were coming in to back you up, and you just throw us under the bus. Where's the love? Yeah, we're leaving. Do whatever you want. That's all.
Have a
See you
great
later,
day.
dear.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. See ya.
Can you grow a mustache?
The answer is yes, but that ain't ever going to happen, okay?
Oh, she did such a good job on the strawberries.
She did. Red,
They're
white, blue.
right and blue. I really like those. I'm going to steal that. And we're going to Anacapa Island on Monday.
Where?
Anacapa Island. It's the Channel Islands.
Oh, huh?
Skylar said it looks like an ongoing investigation right
I
now.
know, right?
All right, are you ready?
When do you put these things on?
No.
Yeah, only if we get a call.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
That one's always so loud.
Hey, thanks for making this such an easy route to follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're welcome.
that. Be sure to tell them I said that.
We're reading Facebook Live comments.
Uh-oh.
Skylar's on fire today.
Yes, he is. All right, we ready?
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We want to thank Sheriff Leon Wilmot and Alfonso Zavala. Again, a comment was made. Alfonso's the first prima donna we've had here because he had a fly on his face during the selfie.
I know.
And he had to shoo it
Yeah,
away.
shoo it away. Mess up. Yeah, I think you should post both of those.
All right, well, next up with this, we have Dave McDowell here. And Dave has been on the show with us before.
Yes.
Dave, you've played a pretty active role in the continued search for Emily Heber, who's been missing for several years now.
Yes.
And that's how we form the relationship that we have with you. We stay in touch. But you also teach an active shooter and emergency response planning. We've had just very recently another incident take place. And that's why it's timely. It's not something we really want to have to talk about, but the fact that that you're providing this resource to the community is phenomenal because I think it's something we do need to address.
Unfortunately, it seems as if these things are happening about every 2 to 3 weeks, whether it's at a school, a business, or a church. And almost every time I give a presentation on this, it either comes on the heels of something that's just happened. And it's important. I've been in partnership with Richard Sprague to a certain extent on doing this and with his business, and then I've been doing this on my own for a while. But it's just important that people understand what they're up against, and these are things that are reoccurring on a regular basis. I think the latest statistics are about once every 2.5 weeks. I think there's been about 16 school-related shootings this year already, and I again, when you take a look at the statistics that are coming out right now, and I hate just to throw statistics out because you can use them any way you want, but they are happening on a more frequent basis.
They certainly are. And what are some of the courses or the information that you can kind of extend to the community? Well, I know you've been working with Sprague Sports in some capacity, but are your services available if a business or local group wants to have you come down?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been working with 4 churches and 1 private school for about the last 4 months doing threat assessments and providing some training for them. So, anyone that needs any kind of assistance and training or planning, I can do that. But, today, I'm not trying to promote what I do, but today it's more about making people aware of what they're facing. And when we train people and we talk to people about this, it's important that they're mentally prepared, because the two things that will get you killed the quickest are thinking it won't happen or it's not happening. And that occurs on a recurring basis in these incidents, time and time again. And even now, since I've been working with the 4 churches, I hear the comment, well, we don't think it's ever going to happen here. Well, I can promise you this right now. Every time an incident's ever happened, nobody thought it was going to happen there.
Correct.
And so it's if you don't have a plan, get a plan. Be prepared. Train your students, your staff, your employees on what they can do. But the 2 things that you really need to prepare on, what I emphasize the most, are mental preparation, self-mental preparation, and understanding what you're up against. Because the killers that are doing this have been working on this. They've been planning and preparing, and their goal, as cruel and as hard as it sounds, is body count.
Yep. And it's unfortunate, like you said, that these are things that we have to prepare ourselves for. I think about it every day. I have a school-age child, and he still has, plenty of schooling to go, and God forbid that would ever happen. But the more we can educate them, that's just more lives that they could possibly save, even by just teaching our kids something simple that might be able to save their lives, and the same goes, as much education, the more education, the better. It's not going to harm us any, and it's better to have that knowledge just in case it does happen. And when it happens, you're able to protect yourself and hopefully your colleagues and kids that are around, because it could happen anywhere. We've seen it in
very, very tiny schools,
and not
in
even
churches.
just schools, in
Small
big,
communities,
big events.
Exactly.
Yeah, all over. Yeah,
all
small
over.
communities
So
too,
if you
large
can
events.
do even something little and save one person's life, you've done your job.
Well, look back, even think 60 years, the different education that went on in schools regarding outside influences or circumstances. You had your duck and cover. You had, and a lot of the schools, even in our area, earthquake preparedness type things that would come into play. And, fire drills, obviously, I did not think in my lifetime we would ever have to do any type of active shooter drills with our kids at schools. But we're at that point.
Yeah, and one of the things that what I try to get across to people and try to constantly hammer at is we have to rethink how we're taking the approaches to our safety, to our schools, churches. It is no longer the kind of the utopia that people once believed, to where you go to school, you don't have any threats or any fears, or you go to church or to your place of work and you have nothing to worry about. This is one of the most cold and cruel facts I'm going to throw out to you right now. In December 1st, 1958, there was a fire in Chicago, Illinois, at Our Lady of Angels Church. 95 children and 3 nuns were killed in that fire. Since December 1st, 1958, there have been 0 deaths by fire in public schools. In schools. The only death related to a school was at a daycare center in mid-2000. The United States, the country was so outraged over what occurred with that fire that fire training, fire suppression equipment, a lot of the construction costs that deal with new school construction now is involved in that. I don't think you can take a blowtorch and start a fire in a school anymore. And but that's the approach. And think about that: 0 deaths since 1958, and in schools in the United States. And when you think about what goes on, we have to rethink on a security standpoint and what we do and how we construct our schools and the training that we give our staff. We have to rethink that, and we need to make serious changes. There's a lot of talk that goes on, but we got to make some real serious changes about how those things are developing, being constructed, and training, preparedness. The list goes on and on.
I agree. We do have a comment from one of our listeners and our Facebook Live viewers. He said he teaches his son about fallback points in the home in case anything happens, and his wife knows what to do as well. And I think enforcing this in the homes too, it's something, again, out of sight, out of mind. We don't want to think about it. If we don't think about it, it's not going to happen. But we should all have a variety of drills that we perform with our families in our own homes regularly.
Without question. And that's a great point. And I love the fact that parents are taking it upon themselves to do it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is not an affront to anyone, don't assume that your children or anyone is being taught to do things in a certain way. I mean, hopefully they are, but make sure that you do what this gentleman here just did and what he's talking about, and take it upon yourself to talk to your children, make sure they understand. When you take a look at how I approach this, it's from the approach of the 3 Ds: deter, detect, and defeat. And if you approach your planning and your training from those perspectives, so that everything fits within one of those 3 areas, you're gonna have a successful plan. People can survive active shooters, active murderers, but you have to plan. You have to understand what's going on. You have to understand the concepts of escape, hide, and fight. And I always put fight at the first of the list. I'm sorry, I know I hear about this, but you have no way of knowing what you're going to be confronted with. You may face that killer, you may face that attack head on, and you better be prepared to do something, all right? I mean, you better be prepared as soon as you understand what is going on. You need to be prepared that if you have to fight for your life, that you fight ruthlessly and relentlessly until that killer is neutralized, all right? I'm going to throw some, if I can have a minute, I'm going to throw out some cold hard facts to you.
Right.
Most of the damage is done in active shooter events in the first 3 minutes. Okay, these events usually last between 7 to 9 minutes.
Wow.
7 to 9, and it's done.
And that's not long at all.
That's not long at all. About 52% of these people take their own lives. 23% are killed by law enforcement or someone else at the scene, and about 25% escape and they're captured later on. What I'm trying to drive at is, Leon Wilmot was on here. We have some of the most outstanding law enforcement agencies in the nation, in this county. We are lucky to have Yuma Police Department, Yuma County Sheriff's Office, the other agencies around here that work together so cooperatively. And I tell you, we're very fortunate because they address these things and they take care of these problems and they are right on top of them. You cannot depend on law enforcement to save your life in those first few minutes of that. You have to be willing and ready to fight. You have to understand if you can escape, get out of there. If you hide, you lock down. Lockdown is not enough just to save you. You've got to be able to barricade the doors. You've got to be ready to fight if that door is breached by that killer.
Yeah.
So there's a change of thinking that needs to occur. Don't sit back and think that the cavalry is going to arrive on time to save you, because they're trying to get there as quick as they can. But from the time that the 911 call goes in, that may be several minutes after the event has started.
Yep.
And then by the time the police get there, you may be at the point that you're already at 6-7 minutes before law enforcement gets on the scene. And if these incidents last between 7 or 9 minutes, you're 2/3 away through the situation.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So. Well, and I'm glad you brought that up. Because we've seen it in recent events that have happened. Even though they're on lockdown, those doors are getting breached. They're coming in, and unfortunately, our kids are having to defend themselves as best possible. And luckily, in a lot of cases, the teachers will step up and do an awesome job in protecting our kids. But that's not always the case, And so it's going to be in their own hands to take care of themselves.
Did you recently hear about, there was I don't remember, security officer within a school that was able to deflect a case where it would have been an on-site shooter within the last couple weeks?
Yes.
Let's talk about that, because he recognized the signs. What are some of the signs that people who are in the situation might want to look for? He was trained, understood, knew what was coming, and therefore was able to save the lives of many people. No injuries occurred because he was able to address it immediately.
You're looking for people. There's a number of different things that you're looking for, but you're looking for problem students, problem employees, people that may have been fired, people that may have difficulty in relationships with other people, people that have been bullied. And let me preface this by saying, anything that I'm saying right now does not absolve the shooter from absolute responsibility.
Right.
I don't care
Not at
what's
all.
happened. That's a person that's conducting these things and committing these atrocious acts. So nothing can excuse their behavior. But people who take criticism harshly, people who believe they've been wronged at work, wronged at school, people who just simply hate what you believe. All right, and you're looking for things. A lot of times, about 70% of the time you'll see some kind of an indication. That's not always the case, obviously, but 70% of the time you'll see something, whether it's a warning, statements, behavior that should be checked out. I love the thing that I keep hearing from the police department and the sheriff's office. If you see something, say something.
Yes, we can't stress that enough, because some
Absolutely.
of these instances, we saw some strange activity on their social media, or they had a YouTube channel that raised alarm, but, I thought someone else might call in. Well, they would rather get 50 calls about the same thing, and I know they're still busy entities too, but better to err on the side of caution.
Exactly, and I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, even if it's something where you see a backpack being left in an area that's strange, if it's anything that looks out of place or not right, report it. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen, I'm sorry, it could be nothing. It could be something. It might be that indicator. This guy in Santa Fe, Texas, had had explosives, had planted explosives.
Right. All over the
The
school.
idiots in Columbine, when they murdered those people there, there were propane tanks left in the cafeteria as a backup to try to explode. I mean, anything that looks out of the ordinary, report, and good grief, get something going on.
You know, I and you touched on a good point. You know, this is we have to say something. There's plenty of times where I've even called, YPD, and it turned out to be nothing. But I'm like, oh, sorry to bother you. You know what? We'd rather come and check it out. Rather be safe than sorry. You know, this service that you're bringing to the community, I think, is fantastic because, everybody thinks it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen here. But we even had scares happened this past year.
Yes.
School was let out because of these different threats. It could happen here. And there's nothing wrong with educating yourself and your family, our kids, really, because they're in the schools and things. We're noticing that's where it's happening. But to educate yourself is the most important thing.
And we're not just talking about schools. Let me remind
Yeah.
you, we've had an active shooter incident in Yuma, Arizona, June 3rd, 2013, when Jerry Shelley was killed.
That's
There were
right.
people that started out in Wilton. It was a mobile active shooter that
Right.
moved into Yuma, killed
That's
some people
right.
out there, moved in here, and murdered a friend of mine, Jerry Shelley. So please, and there have been active shooter incidents all over the state of Arizona. There are so many incidents in the various states. It is extremely difficult to keep track of everyone that's going on. And one of the things I like the trend that's going on now is that most responsible places aren't even mentioning the killers' names. We should not give them
Don't
That
the
credit.
benefit of the doubt, because their legacy, their delusional legacy is what a lot of this time that drives this. And so, let's talk about the victims. Let's talk about the heroes, the people that survived, but don't give any of these killers
Nope.
a benefit
We agree.
of glory.
We agree.
Absolutely.
All right, our guest with us today is Dave McDowell with American Security and Investigative Services. I'm reading his shirt right now. Dave, if someone would like to reach out to you for more information or possibly look at scheduling something, how can they contact you?
They can contact me by either my phone number or my email. My email address is it's all lowercase gdmcdowell@roadrunner.com, or they can call me at 928-750-5630.
750-5630.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we want to thank you so much for coming in today. And it's Today in Yuma. It is time to take our Lotus Day Spa and Salon selfie with Dave out in the courtyard. And someone said, so serious today. We need to talk about cats,
But it's important.
it's very important. We do need to educate, and like Little says, know your surroundings so you notice any changes, and if you see something, say something.
Yep.
Very, very important. All right, time to take that selfie. We'll be back with Foodylicious Janice for a special Thursday edition because we are off tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
It's Today in Yuma. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting, and they have over 30 years of experience and knowledge to benefit you. You can trust them with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. Just give Dave and his crew a call today at 343-1040.
And Spike Sports, they offer training courses including Arizona CCW, First Shot, Hunter Education, and more. Plus, there's always a gunsmith on duty. You can find them at spikes.com.
Did your air conditioning system go out at midnight or break on the warmest day of the year? No
Nope.
worries. And Anita saying shout
I know,
out
she's
over there.
like, quit bringing that up, please.
Quick Refrigeration provides 24-hour emergency service. Just give them a call today. Tell Jimmy and the guys that we sent you. You can reach Quick Refrigeration at 782-3691.
And Yuma's Best Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists. They have been providing pest control services in the Yuma area for over 20 years. Right now, take advantage of their summer special. $89 includes pest control services for the exterior, June, July, and August. It is a guaranteed service. There's no charge for callbacks. And if you'd like the inside done, they'll do that too. Just give them a call today at 928-343-9149. Better yet, go to their Facebook page. There's some awesome things going on there.
It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back with Foodylicious Janice after the break.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
very much.
Those are topics that we can talk about.
I know.
Unfortunately, that's right.
I like that. It looks like an ongoing investigation.
That was great.
Smile.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so
You guys
much.
take care.
You too,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Good seeing you.
Nice to see you.
See ya.
Wind's kicking up.
Take care.
We can end with it, and I'll just shorten. Which ones do we
You
have?
can take that.
Yes.
And that's all.
Well, okay
Oh,
then.
no, we can. Okay, run until noon.
Okay, I'm just gonna delete them and then you
Okay.
can back up. I'll let you know what time we need to end. We have to do birthdays too.
Yes.
Little says, yummy!
You raising the roof?
I do it in the grocery store. My kids hate it.
Why?
I'll go whoop whoop. And they're, Mom, no one does that. I go raise a roof, and I'll do it. And one time, like 2 hours over, a lady went whoop whoop. I go, there's another lady my age.
What's that commercial? He's like, are people still saying that? No, no one says that.
I know. So I always say, hey kids, what's a new hip word for this? They're like, don't use hip.
I was gonna say hip.
That's so groovy, Janice. Tubular.
We're saying da bomb. A lot of them come back.
45 seconds.
I gotta go. I gotta check Neil's email.
I know, me too. I read it. I want to know what I want to know. Forward it to me so I can listen
She's
to
gonna
it.
email me audio because they were talking about Rodimus the cat on their show this
Oh
morning.
no.
It's working!
Rodimus is syndicated.
Let's see if you get any new likes from it.
Yeah. Woohoo!
You may be able to quit your job and be his manager. Or her
Rodimus
manager.
is
You
a
may
girl.
be-
Thank
be
you.
her manager. It's not a very feminine.
You have to forward it to me so I can listen to it.
I'm just waiting for someone from the CIA to pop their head out next and say, I was here the whole time!
All right, here we go.
All right. And graduation's tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't have any of this shit.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Teresa.
And I'm Foodie-licious.
Yummy!
I know, it's not Friday, everybody out in the radio world.
I know,
It's
don't
Thursday.
get confused. Don't get confused.
We're taking Friday and Monday off for Memorial Day. We've got several graduation ceremonies and just a lot going on. So
Yes.
Janice has been so kind as to get up early on this Thursday to cook for us.
Well, you know, or last night, whichever.
And you're here to provide a little levity this morning. We've had some serious stuff, but it's important things.
It is very
And
important.
we need to talk about them.
You know, what do they say? A lot of people eat with their emotions. So I'm trying to help you guys. I'm thinking, you know what? Barbecue is good for your emotions.
Well, what have we got here today?
With Memorial Day coming up, a lot of people are going to be out there around their barbecue pits, around the swimming pool, out at family, friends, park. So I thought I'd go that route. And if you don't like to do it on the pit, you can, but I did mine in the oven. So you could do it either way. And just take it to a gathering that you're going to go to. I decided to do ribs. Find what is on sale this week. Every store has doing specials, and Albertsons had the ribs for $1.77 a pound because that is unheard of.
That's great.
So, and you got a choice of a couple kinds. I used the pork back loin ribs, and all I did was I like dry rub on my ribs, so I did one side with some garlic powder and pepper, and then the opposite side onion powder and salt. I don't like to use garlic salt and onion salt. It makes it very salty, so I do a lot of powder so you still get the flavor.
Yeah.
I did it where like I said, I dry rub on each side, then I put it on a big cookie sheet or a double pan. You know, you have those broil pans where the grease can drip down and collect in the bottom, so that way it doesn't sit in it. I put it at 375. I like to start the ribs where the bone is down.
Okay.
So facing down the first 30 minutes, and then come back in and flip it the other way, so then the juices go into the meat part for the last 30.
That's
It
smart.
doesn't dry it out as much.
Yeah.
And I did corn at the same time on a different cookie sheet, left it in the husk, just trim off the little silky hair at the top, maybe run under a little bit of water, and I just put it on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. So at that 30-minute mark, when you flip over your ribs, turn over your corn too. But that way you kind of get a roasted flavor, and you did it all in the same oven.
So silky corn hair and luscious mustaches. All in one show.
Actually, I got rid of the hair first, so I'm sorry.
I'm going to drop the mic.
No.
Well, and I like that it's funny, when you prepare your meals for the station, you know, Foodie-licious Fridays, and well, in this case, Thursday, you kind of, you know that people's palates are different, and same at a barbecue. I like that you put the barbecue sauce on the side. Everybody
Right.
likes something.
That's how when I go out, I order it because I like to do a little bit of barbecue sauce dabbing.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I didn't put it on there. I like, and I don't like big barbecue-y saucy ribs. I don't like it to get messy and all over, and I like to dunk it in as I go too. But I remember that everywhere we go, you always ask for sauce on the side. So this way, you can put it if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. And the corn, I like to sprinkle tahini on mine. A lot of people don't. So, you know, I put it on the side in case you want it. And then, of course, to be patriotic, I did the strawberries, so they were red, white, and blue.
They are beautiful
They look
strawberries.
I made this the PG version because these are really called firecracker strawberries, where you can soak them in vodka and then you dunk them in, you know, and the blue is really Pop Rocks instead of just sprinkles.
Oh,
So this
goodness.
way I did them like the kid version, where it's just a regular strawberry.
You're no fun.
And I know. Melted some white chocolate chips with a little bit of coconut oil to make it smooth and shiny. Then about 3/4 of the way, dunk it into the white chocolate, and then sprinkle the blue sprinkles at the end. So that way, you have red, white, and blue.
Jen just reminded us, I hope you're watching on Facebook Live.
Tom and Bernie asked, they said, where are your red noses for Red Nose Thursday? We
Right
have
here.
them on.
They
They're
were
right
on our
here.
mics. We just magically moved them.
Yes.
Now we sound funny.
Well, you can get these recipes at monstermediayuma.com. Just go to Janice's Bootylicious page, and this recipe will be there, included with others. And you also have the opportunity, not today because we've already drawn the winner today, but you can enter to win next week's prize, which is
A $25 gift certificate to 251 Twisted Kitchen downtown.
that's right. And we have a winner today.
I do. I picked it. So I like how a lot of gentlemen have been entering lately, and not just ladies. Like everybody thinks, oh, ladies, they cook a lot, but a lot of men enter this contest too. So Dustin Whitson is our winner.
Congratulations, Dustin Whitson.
Congratulations.
He'll
All
get to go
right.
in next week and have some food.
Well, we have a couple birthdays to announce, so we'll do our national days first because it's National Red Nose Day.
Yes, it is.
And when we
And
start
have our
talking
nose.
funny, that's how you know we're wearing them.
Janice didn't even, yes, we sound a little nasally. She didn't even bring her sparkly one over here.
No, I just pulled one off the counter. Who knows whose nose this is?
I think it's Jennifer, so you should be okay.
Well, maybe.
I
We don't
think.
know.
Cootie spray.
Well, it's also National Wyoming Day, and I think they're the 44th state? 41st
Sure, that's
state?
Sure, let's
go with that.
40,
That sounds great.
44th state to join the Union. It's National Scavenger Hunt Day.
Ooh, fun.
Ooh, I like
That was a lot
that.
of fun. Aviation Maintenance Technician Day.
Very important.
Yes, make sure they are well taken care of.
Yes.
They have a lot of responsibility. Brothers Day. I have 2 brothers.
Oh,
I do too. Shout out to Mike and Noah.
Yeah.
I don't have brothers, but I guess
Ace
my
and
kids
Jason.
work.
There you go. My brother-in-law, Tim.
I'll get my boys to celebrate.
And Red Nose Day.
We got it.
And we do have our sparkly red
Yes,
noses.
I went and got them. I didn't. I thought that the glitter was going to come off when I opened the package because they're very tiny, but it is sparkly.
Well, this day encourages people to don their red noses, and they have some other items you can wear too, little pins. And by doing so, the money helps benefit children across the world and a variety of charities.
Yes.
Feeding America was one of those, and we just can't stress enough the importance of making sure that we think of others too. And I know
right.
a lot of people do, but what are they, $1 each?
$1 each, and the pens you were talking about are actually really cool because they're like the size of a dime, maybe just a little bit bigger, and they have like red glitter in them, and they have a little glittery. They're really sparkly and fun, and those are like $3. But all of that money raised goes straight back to the kids.
All right. Well, birthdays today, courtesy of Firehouse Subs. We have to get these mentions in.
Yes.
Firehouse Public Safety Foundation saves lives through donation grants, and Arizona has been the recipient of over $1 million so far, and we've seen some of that right here in the Yuma community.
That's right.
Birthdays today, Travis Turner is celebrating. His wife August sent that birthday wish in.
Yes.
And she also included someone tomorrow, since we're not on.
Yes.
For Friday, Sarah Palmer is celebrating her birthday too.
Well, happy birthday to both of you. I have a birthday here as well. A long time, really good friend of mine, Neil Champion. I want to wish you a very happy birthday.
And Casey Hollis, he is celebrating today. Now, Sonia Brannick is celebrating, and I think she is in Idaho. Sonia is the reason I moved to Yuma.
Aw.
Well, my husband's the reason I moved to Yuma. She's the reason I met my husband.
There you go.
So I have a lot to thank her for.
Yes,
and
you
her
do.
birthday. I graduated on this day back in 1990, and I remember it was Sonia's birthday. So
Aw.
that's my graduation day too. I was 12 when I graduated, so it's been a number of years.
We're very small.
No, it's also Mia Hale's birthday. Mia is a Yuma High 2016 alumni. She lives in Texas right now. Her husband is stationed in the Army. Jennifer Merrill is celebrating today, along with Louis Wilbur, another longtime connection to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office. And Alicia Rodriguez is celebrating today, too.
Well, happy birthday to
Happy
all
birthday.
of you.
All right.
If you have a birthday wish a birthday shout out you'd like to give, all you need to do is go to monstermediayuma.com, click on the Today in Yuma tab. There you will find the Firehouse Sub logo with the Celebrate banner. Just shoot it on over and make sure to give us 24 hours notice.
That's right. And we want to mention, again, we've been saying it a lot. You've been hearing our grad salutes.
Yes.
Tomorrow is graduation. Students within the Yuma Union High School District will be graduating at 8 o'clock. And I think YC, I'm not sure if their ceremony starts at 6 or shortly thereafter, but Yuma Catholic is also graduating tomorrow. We want to stress the importance of safety. A lot of, I don't believe they hold grad night exercises anymore. The large group that they used to do, the large event, I think it ended a couple years ago. But if you plan to be out, we're not condoning anything under the age. There is a zero tolerance for any type of blood alcohol concentration for anyone under the age of 21. Please be safe out there. We will have a lot of traffic on the road as it is for Memorial Holiday weekend, but we want to congratulate all of our very hardworking graduates and the parents and guardians that help them get to that point, because it's a group effort.
It takes a village. It takes a village.
It does take a village. And again, we want to reach out and congratulate, some of those very special to us. Anita's son Jacob is graduating from Yuma High School.
Yay!
Victoria Alvarez, she is one of our assistants also. She's graduating from Zavala High School.
That's
Congrats,
right.
B.
And my son's sweet girlfriend Destiny is graduating from Zavala High School.
Aww.
And Anita had one more,
Yes.
didn't you?
Sydney, you want to
Sydney?
give Sydney a shout out?
Oh, yeah. Sydney Young over at Yuma Catholic. I had the privilege of teaching her at St. Francis, so I want to wish you a very happy graduation. And all of all the classes and all the students I had the opportunity to teach, because they will be indelible marks on my spirit for the rest of my life.
And Sydney's a valedictorian.
She is.
And I have my two nieces as well. They're not in town, but I want to give a shout out to Mia Amore. We miss and love you, and congratulations. So proud of you. And to Courtney Maud over in Mooresville, Indiana. Courtney, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. I had a graduate in our family yesterday that he's in Tucson. He's, I believe, Mountain View High School is the high school he goes to. But a shout out to Jared Galera, because he celebrated his graduation yesterday.
And I love the candy lace and the lace of the
Oh,
family.
yeah,
yes.
that was
It's
wonderful.
so awesome. We all put some hard work into that, but it's a tradition. I mean, he is Hawaiian, and if you just Google Hawaiian graduation, you will see what we are talking about.
Apparently, Yuma Catholic, courtesy of one of my best friends, Laura, is at 6:30 tomorrow.
There we go.
She works
Thanks,
at YC.
Laura. Thank you so much.
Hey, I know she's listening then.
Exactly.
And mine was my nephew Clint. He's going into high school. He will start Zavala next year.
Oh, how exciting.
Thank you for making me feel old.
They tend to do that.
Congratulations.
Yes, they tend to do that. And again, this weekend, if you get out and you enjoy and imbibe in some adult beverages, again, remember, designate a sober driver, use one of the rideshare services, make sure you take many precautions, and hydrate well. Try and avoid those sugary beverages too. And if you're in the water, you still need to drink plenty of water.
Need water.
There you
That's
go.
right.
I said it. All right, it's Today in Yuma on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook live feed. We will see everyone Tuesday. Please be safe. Have a wonderful weekend. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you, Foodylicious Janice. It's delicious.
welcome.
It smells delicious.
I know.
All right, and Anita on the camera. All right, we will see everyone on Tuesday. KCYK Yuma and KLJZ Yuma.
I know.
All right, and Anita on the camera. You're going to take it to 5830, you said?
Yeah, we're good.
You take it to 58:30.
No, you take it 5830. Bye,
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Anita.
58:30 you.